3 signs your mind is controlling you. We want to talk about the mind, how powerful the mind is. Now, let me paint a picture so that you can understand the complexity, but yet the simplicity of our minds, right? So the thing about the mind is, the mind has basically 3 facets that exist in what we call a physical dimension, right? That we perceive, but its actual relationship or its actual point of origin is from another dimension, okay? So you have your conscious mind, which you use for everyday planning, logic, structure, that you can be aware of your world. And then you have your critical divide mind, which is a bridge between the conscious, and then we go to the subconscious. Critical divide is basically the mind of reason for the subconscious, because the subconscious is illogical, so it can't think. So the critical divide forms that buffer. That buffer helps you to see things real, to know if to say, hey, I can fly, but in reality you can't fly, because if you jump off a building, you know what's going to happen. Critical divide steps in and say, no, you can't, because your subconscious is illogical. All right, so it's important that we take control of our minds, because if we don't take control of our minds, if your mind is controlling you, it's going to be one heck of a ride. You're going to be up and down. So let me share 3 signs with you so that you can use these to propel yourself to change, so that you can live a better, happier, fulfilling, and you can manifest and create more in your life because you won't have resistance. So let's jump into it. Sign number 1, you worry a lot. When you're worrying a lot, it's the mind's reaction to fear, danger, worry, and doubt. Keep in mind, these are all illusions. They're not actually real. Let me show you what happens. The mind needs to do this because it creates stimuli, emotions. What does emotions do? To like cripple you. When you get anxious, sweat, heart rate, they're designed, the worry is designed for you to stay like this. To the mind, all right, it's a survival mind. All it needs is you to stay put. Its best way to keep you to be put is by using things that happen in your life, or things that you think will happen, to keep you put, because it thinks that it's going to die. Because it says, if I make a move, I'm not going to survive. That's sign number 1. Sign number 2, that your mind is controlling you. This one may be a sleeper, because a lot of individuals probably aren't aware of this. And probably you're doing it so much. Here it is. You easily say yes to everything. People come to you, yes. You find it difficult to say no and stand up on your own. But what's happening here? Well, this is integrated in the ego part of the mind, or the conscious mind. So let me show you what's happening in this part of the mind. The mind wants to be accepted because of the program. So it bases its success, its happiness, on being accepted. So maybe if I say yes, they'll like me more. Maybe if I keep going, they'll like me more. I don't want to disappoint them. Actually, what you're doing is you're giving up your power, and your mind is controlling you. Now, human beings don't work like that, guys. People will take advantage of you if you keep saying yes. That's human nature. People respect you when you can say, nah, I'm good, thanks, I'm gonna stay. They may not like it at first, but subconsciously they respect you, and you respect yourself. Therefore, you can create more. But when you don't do that, when you're constantly saying yes, you feel you're scared to what they're gonna think of you, you become a victim. You actually lose your power to deliberately create your life. That's a sign that your mind is controlling you. Did you know that? That's a powerful one right there, right? That the mind is controlling you. Now let's go to sign number 3. And this one is very powerful. A lot of us do this. We have this. Sign number 3, that your mind is controlling you, is you're constantly being projected in the future and in the past. Now let's check this out. It would be great if the future that your mind gives you was always something about positivity or success. It'd also be great if the past was something about success or what you're doing. But do you notice it rarely does that? It gives you a picture of a future that's unpredictable, that's bad, that's not what you want, that's right. Why does the mind do that? Why can't my mind paint a picture, or if it's going to do any future planning, why can't it just put me where I can see the best version of myself? First of all, why is my mind in the future? Why is it in the past? Let me answer it and show you how it works. So the mind accepts reality based on programs. Programs are basically a set of system that's followed by your parents, parents, and our environment, or the matrix. So that's the program the mind sees. So when you came into the world, a program was automatically installed in your mind, and the program was lack, struggle, worry, and doubt. So the mind now must automatically adopt that program to your planning, your future, or the past. Let me make it easy. I'll give you an analogy. Let's say you live on an island. On this island, everything around you was just green vegetation. There's green fruits. Everything was green. Green trees, nothing else. All it was green. So when you grew up on this island, your map of reality was green. So now when your mind projects your future, it's going to project everything green. I'm being a greenhouse, a green tree, a green fruit. Your mind can't see anything else because that's the only map of reality. Now imagine that one day a ship passed by and he's like, whoa, hey ship. And the ship says, hey man, you want to explore? You say, what? So I want to show you. So you get on the ship and then you find this whole new world. You find different plants, trees, flowers with colors, different fruits, everything. That becomes a shock to your mind because now your mind is, whoa, that's called cognitive dissonance now. Your mind says, this is my view of reality. What's happening here? But the reality is there's different trees and different stuff, right? So the reason you always have a dim future or a gloomy past is because of the program that was installed in your mind through the matrix to show you that the future is bad. But in reality, you know that the future is always possible, that you can deliberately create. But to your mind, it does not see that. So that's why it always projects you in the future, in the past. Here's the next major reason it puts you in the future and the past. Because it needs to plan, to structure. Because it feels it needs to survive. It says, if I can't plan, we can't survive. It wants to know your whole plan. Because that's how it was created. Now, here's the danger of that. There is no future. The past is a memory. Me talking to you is all that's happening right now. The danger is, if you allow your mind to be a future projector and a past regretter, you're not here. You can't create the best version. You cannot become the most successful thing or version of yourself. You become a figment of an imagination that doesn't exist. And eventually, you start to adopt that mindset and you will create and become a self-fulfilling prophecy of that very illusionary future your mind puts towards you. Because you're creating in the moment and you're doing it subconsciously. See that? So, how can I stop the future and the past projection, Mark? Because my mind just seems to do it regardless. I try, but it doesn't. Okay, here's how you do that. If your mind is going into the future, just become aware and put the future now. All you have to do is think and accept that what you want or what you think you want or you desire is happening now. How do I make the future now? It's a very easy concept. Here's all you got to do. Once you become aware that your mind's in the future, stop and look around so that you see that you're here now. Then when you see that you're here now, go ahead and think again. Now that future becomes the present moment because now you brought your mind back to the present. So when you create a thought, it automatically associates it with the present. Here's where you mess up. Whenever you're in the future, you never stop to check the surroundings to see your present. So you go into the future, so your mind gives you that illusion. That's $1 million secret right there. Anytime your mind acts up, just go like this. Bring you back into the moment. Then you can think of a thought. Alright? So, look guys, it's very powerful because let me show you something about the mind, alright? And the mind creates all of this. This, all of it. Here's a big secret. It's not happening out here. It's really happening in here. in your skull, the brain is encapsulated deep in your skull. There's a little pea-sized gland. It's called the visionary cortex. The only reason you think all of this is real is because you have these senses that originate from the body, which you think is real because they give off electrical stimuli. So with these 5 senses, you have these emotions, these feelings, right? And it gives you the illusion, and it also gives you an awareness that this is real, but everything is actually happening inside the mind and projected outside. All of this is like a holographic projection. It's like a hologram. The hologram feels very real to you and I because our senses is connected into the hologram. So because we feel stuff, we think the hologram is real, but it really isn't. And I could give you one simple experiment to prove it to you right now, to show you that everything is happening inside your head. What you hear, what you see, it's all coming inside out. I'll use hearing. So you can hear me right now, right? I can hear myself. Let me show you an example. So I'm going to say, mind your mind. Okay? I hear that. I'm going to say it in my head. Watch. I just heard it. How can I hear it outside and hear it inside my head at the same time? Does it my head inside my head have ears? No. The reason why I can hear it outside and I can hear it inside my head, because it's all coming from the same place. It's all inside. Otherwise, if I couldn't hear myself inside, then it's not a hologram. It's a real. But with the fact that I can talk outwards and I can stop and I can talk inwards, there is something going on. It says that my mind exists as a consciousness. It is out there. And I project these things from inside. So you need to know that, because if your mind is controlling you, it's controlling your show. You're not going to create and get what you want. So you want to become aware. To stop this, all you have to do, guys, is become aware. Step 1, know the system, know your mind works. Step 2, become more present to some of the things that I showed you in this video. And then you will be on your way to control your mind. Your mind is a tool. Use a tool. Don't let the tool use you. All right, guys, thanks.